Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Memorial Stadium here in sunny, beautiful downtown Latrobe, as we are about 25 minutes away from opening kickoff between the Latrobe Wildcats and your Kiski Cavaliers. Excited for game number 3 of the season tonight. Technically, this is week 2 on the schedule. Kiski comes into the game 2-0. And if I remember correctly from some of my sources online, for the first time in well over a decade, Kiski enters the game 2-0. So a lot of excitement surrounding the Cavaliers. Latrobe, on the opposite side, comes into the game 1-1. Kiski 2-0, coming off a win against Franklin Regional at home last week. A very exciting win last week, 24-14. Also beat Butler the week before that, 21-7. So a lot of exciting things going on both sides of the ball for the Kiski area Cavaliers. Unfortunately, I'm alone tonight in the booth, so you're just going to have to hear me analyze, and I don't have a sidekick that can throw things back to me. But for all of you guys listening out there, I'm sure you know that I have no time. I don't have any problems talking and educating. When it comes to Kiski area, it was very exciting watching the game last week, especially when you saw the defense for the Cavaliers. Two touchdowns by Cavalier defenders. Braden Dunmeyer with an interception return, and High Top Sports Network player of the game, Sam Coleman, with an interception return from the lineman position. I also believe that, again, if I saw it correctly, he was named Player of the Week or Player of the Game by the Cavaliers as well. So Sam Coleman and the defense coming off a tremendous game against Franklin Regional. On the flip side, it's going to be interesting to see what Latrobe brings tonight. They have an injured center, an injured quarterback, and their center is not playing. Couldn't quite get all the information out, but it's definitely not an injury on the Latrobe side. But definitely something to keep an eye on. We got 2 new players in the middle of the Latrobe offense. The quarterback that was injured for Latrobe, Bobby Fetter, in the opening game against Derry, which they won easily, 61-0. Now, it was a scrimmage game, or a week 0 game, if you will. So, certainly, I would assume both teams, not running out their full playbook. But Latrobe had a pretty easy week in week 1, and Bobby Fetter played somewhat sparingly, but was a perfect 5 for 5 with a couple TDs. Last week, Latrobe was leading the game when Fetter left early in the second half. So going to be interesting to see what new quarterback Braden Riot can do. I was talking to some of the coaches and a few of the players before the game tonight, and Riot came in and looked fairly steady last week against Norwin. As I mentioned, Latrobe lost to Norman in a nail-biter, a last-second field goal, gave Norman a 31-28 victory. But according to some of the players, some of the coaches, that Braden Riot played really well at the quarterback position for basically being his first time under center. The starting center that's missing for Latrobe tonight is, Eric Landry. This is his second game that he will be missing. So the new starting center will be Dan Calabrese. Dan Calabrese was playing guard for the Wildcats in the opening game. And then when Eric had to miss, he was moved to center. So this will be the second game that he starts at center. So they will obviously have a new player over at guard. So something to watch for on the Latrobe offensive side. A new center and a new quarterback and some mixing parts on the offensive end. On the defensive side, we talked about Kiski, and we could probably talk the whole pregame about what the defense has been able to do. allowed just one touchdown in the Week 0 contest against Butler, and that was an extremely late touchdown. The Cavaliers were running out of time and put in one of their backup running backs. Unfortunately, he fumbled inside the 20-yard line, and Butler was able to get a late touchdown, but that was looking like a shutout. And then last week, Kiski gave up an opening quarter touchdown. I believe it was the second possession of the game. And then from there, the only other touchdown given up was a kickoff return in the second half. So the defense basically has a shutout in game 1 and one touchdown in game 2. So obviously the Cavaliers, the defense, anybody that has seen the Sam Albert teams here at Kiski over the last few years, that's something that they certainly stress, and certainly that's something that's been a strength for Kiski area, and this year it seems to be no different. We talk about Braden Dunmeyer from his linebacker position. We also have to mention Brock Wilkins. Certainly he is a major piece in that Cavaliers defense from the middle linebacker position. And some other pieces making their names or their presence felt. New starter, Beef Brandon Lawhorn Moore, getting the start at nose tackle, has been a major find or a major piece for the defensive line. 6'6", 295. For those of you who don't know, he's been getting looks on the offensive side, D1 looks for his skills and abilities on the offensive line, but certainly has been stellar in the middle for the Cavaliers defensive line. And then another new starter is junior Deshaun McBride. Haven't said his name a ton, but he has been impactful in some of the plays that he has been in on and some of the situations that he has been in. So Kiski, very, very solid up front on the line and certainly strong in the middle. It'll be interesting to see how does the secondary work for Kiski area, and will the new quarterback, Braden Riot, be able to find some holes. The opening week against Butler, quarterback there misfired on several plays where he had receivers open, and there were several drives against Franklin Regional last week where they were moving the ball through the air. So Kiski, if there has been a weakness on the defensive side, it has been in the secondary. Hopefully they have tightened that up, and or the perceived weakness is none at all. So I'm very excited to see what happens here tonight. I wish I had somebody in the booth with me to share some excitement. We could bounce some things off, but I'm so excited that today I had to rest my voice box, as one of my friends said. I told him that I had to relax and get ready for the game tonight and rest my voice box. And certainly that is so, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking tonight. So we're going to take a quick break. And attention to all of the businesses out there. We are looking for sponsors and advertisers here on the High Top Sports Network. If you know a business in the area, and or if you are a business owner, we'd certainly love to have you on the High Top Sports Network, your new official home for the Cavaliers. Hopefully not just football, but other sports as well. So make sure you reach out to us. For those of you that know me, I'm always in the air. I'm always out and about. Please feel free to reach out to me, but we'd love to have you. So thanks for tuning in to the High Top Sports Network, and we'll see you in a minute.
Arms Care, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Arms Care can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Arms Care offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Arms Care at 724-545-3200 today.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at Katanning Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-called prepared sushi, every day fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we're about 12 minutes away from the opening kick. We're going to take a pause here for our national anthem.
The 13 servicemen and women who lost their lives in the Afghanistan conflict. David L. Espinozo, Nicole L. G., Darren T. Hoover, Ryan C. Mouse, Hunter Lopez, Riley J. McCollum, Dylan R. Marola, Kareem M. Nagu, Giovanni Rosario Picardio, Humberto A. Sanchez, Jared M. Schmitz, Maxton W. Soviak, Dagan W. Page. Please observe a moment of silence for these brave men and women that lost their lives defending our country. Thank you. Now we welcome everyone to join in the singing as our Great Latrobe Marching Band plays our national anthem. Please remain standing and join our students and alumni as we sing the Great Latrobe High School alma mater. Let's have a nice hand for the Great Latrobe Marching Band and cheerleaders and color guard.
So welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we're just under 8 minutes left here in the pregame. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to all of our sponsors: Arms Care, Sprankles Community Market, TGIF Solutions, Gross Embroidery, BS Outfitters, and new to the gang, Chevrolet Concrete Construction. As I mentioned before the break, if you are a business owner in the area or you know a business owner, please have them contact us at High Top Sports Network, your official home for Cavaliers football and in the future, hopefully, all of Cavaliers sports. Happy to have all of you here tonight as we're getting set for Latrobe and Kiski area. As I mentioned earlier, Latrobe comes into the game 1-1. Kiski is 2-0. 2-0 for the first time in well over a decade, and certainly looking to make it 3-0. A lot of excitement surrounding the Kiski area football program. I know coming into the season, the Cavaliers had some high hopes after making the playoffs 2 years ago, and obviously a rough COVID season for everybody involved in sports, but high hopes for the Cavaliers to get back to the playoffs and certainly getting started on the right track with a big win last week over Franklin Regional. Kiski defeated Franklin Regional last week 24-14, while Latrobe is coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss to Norwin, 31-28. I briefly touched on it in the earlier in the pregame. Norman, with the score tied at 28, was able to hit a 40-plus yard field goal with a few seconds left on the clock. to hand the Wildcats their first loss of the season, and certainly a very disappointing loss. In that game, they also lost their starting quarterback, Bobby Fetter. It's going to be interesting to see what new starter Braden Riot can do for the Wildcats. He played a little bit here in the second half of last week's game against Norman, and from what I understand, from talking to quarterback Fetter, he had told me that he thought Riot looked very solid. He said he looked comfortable throwing the ball and ran the offense. So I guess if you wouldn't have known that, from what I'm being told by Bobby Fetter, that Riot shouldn't be missing a beat for the Wildcats. Now, that could just be team talk or player talk. Certainly, I didn't expect him to talk negative about his teammate, but he was definitely had high praise for his replacement. Also missing for the Wildcats is their starting center. That's Eric Landry. This is his second game missed, and this will be the second game that Dan Calabrese will be starting in his place. Calabrese started at guard in the first game, but had to move to center in his game last week against Norman. So this will be his second start from the center position. So a lot of things to keep your eye on. On the Kiski sideline, I know they're also missing a player of their own. They are missing their third wide receiver, Dylan Hutcherson. Dylan will not be playing here tonight. I didn't get the full report of what happened. I'm not sure if it's an injury or not, but I know Kiski's going to be missing Dylan Hutcherson. And certainly, if anybody's watched Kiski football so far this year, I wouldn't classify them as an aerial attack. But anybody that knows Dylan Hutcherson knows that he's very athletic and certainly adds some athleticism to that receiving core, and whether he's catching passes or not, certainly helps stretch the defense and grab some attention. So, from what I understand, junior Dom Danino is going to be replacing him. Athletic in his own right, but certainly his stature, his size, is a little bit less than what Dylan's is. So interesting to see if Dom Danino can make an impact filling in for Dylan Hutcherson. Talk about the aerial attack for the Kiski area, something that's been extremely surprising. As much as we're going to hype up the defense and talk about this is something that we expected, something that we haven't expected so far from the Cavaliers offense, is no receptions from Calvin Heinley. Calvin Heinley came into the season as an all-conference player, and so far he has yet to catch a pass. Now, I know in the opening game he was double covered on a few instances or on several plays, so certainly defenses are taking more of a approach to shut him down or are more aware of who he is. So certainly you got to give him a little bit of leeway, but we definitely want to see if the Cavaliers can get him involved, because the more that he's involved, the more it's going to open up for a little bit of surprise from Matthew Hilty. Now, when I say a little bit of surprise, Matthew Hilty is certainly somebody that the Cavaliers have relied on, somebody that they have used on offense and defense. But when I say somewhat of a surprise, is Matthew Hilty was injured last year, and I would assume didn't make the impact that he and the team expected due to the injury, and then obviously probably getting caught up to speed later in the season. Now, if he was a little bit disappointing last year, certainly hasn't been disappointing this year. Matthew Hilty has been the key figure through the offense for Kiski area. I don't have the stats here in front of me, but several receptions and I believe a touchdown as well. I know there was one occasion in last week's game that he was open down the sideline and would have been his second touchdown of the season, and just a misfire from Logan Johnson. But Matthew Hilty has been very solid for the Cavaliers on the offensive side. Now, we talk about the aerial attack. Let's talk about the ground game. The ground game has got another pleasant surprise as well from senior Chad Hepler. Chad Hepler was somebody that up until maybe, say, 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, somewhere along those lines, that he wasn't even on the football team. Chad Hepler had played 2 years ago, and for whatever reason decided not to play football last year. And he was a late addition to the Cavaliers this season. And certainly he has been somebody that Kiski has utilized at the running back position. He has been the speed to Brock Wilkins' power. Brock Wilkins was a hammer last week for Kiski area against Franklin Regional. And in the opening game, Hepler showed his skills with, again, the speed and some quickness. So Kiski area certainly has some options on the offensive side. The last but not least, we have not talked about quarterback Logan Johnson. Coming into the season, Logan Johnson and LeBrin Smith were supposedly sharing time at quarterback. We saw it on the opening few series against Butler. Both quarterbacks were in and out of the game, but since then, it has been all Logan Johnson. Logan Johnson did his job in both games, led the Cavaliers to the win. And certainly it's going to be somebody that they rely on again here tonight against Latrobe. So here we go. We're ready for the opening kickoff between Kiski area and Latrobe. And here's Cody Dykes. It's a high booming kick. Caught at the 9-yard line. Across the 20. Makes a quick move. Avoids a tackler. He's across the 30. He's across the 40. He is hit and stopped by Cody Dykes at the 45-yard line. So an exciting return and a good start for Latrobe. On the return was number 11. That's Nicholas Bullstein. Excuse me, that's the Kiski lineup. That's Colin Stevens, number 11 for the Wildcats. So first and 10 from the 44-yard line for Latrobe.
First and 10 for the Cats.
As we mentioned, new quarterback for the Wildcats, Braden Riot. Under center. Keeps it himself, I believe.
Riot on the keeper.
That was Riot. Across the 45. Up to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7. Here's Riot from the gun. Rolls to his right, looking to his right. He's fired down the sideline. He was looking for number 11. That was Colin Stevens. Pass was just a little bit short. On the coverage there, LeBrin Smith. Pretty good coverage by LeBrin.
Number 2, LeBron Smith.
Mentioned the Kiski area secondary as a potential weakness, if you will. I hate to use the word weakness because certainly haven't showed anything to say that was weakness, but there have been signs in the early 2 games that it could be something that the opposing offenses could exploit. But as I said, LeBrin Smith with great coverage there. So it brings up a 3rd and 7. There's Riot. Handoff. That's number 10, Drake Clayton. Clayton doesn't get much there. And I'm almost embarrassed that I didn't mention Drake Clayton in the pregame. Drake Clayton is the focal point of the Wildcats offense. Last week he rushed for over 200 yards against Norwin, including an 85-yard touchdown run. So certainly Drake Clayton going to be somebody that Kiski area has to keep an eye on. No gain on that play by Clayton, and the Wildcats are forced to punt. Short punt. Lands at the 28-yard line. Takes a Wildcat roll. Down to the 24-yard line.
Down at the 25-yard line. Check that 24-yard line. Kiski will take over. First and 10 from their own 24.
So Kiski area will come out for their first offensive series. Again, that's Logan Johnson. It appears to be Logan Johnson. Going to be a quarterback there. So see Braden Dunmeyer on the field, Matthew Hilty. Carter Diltz. Calvin Heinley. In the backfield is Brock Wilkins. That's Johnson in the gun. Takes the ball, hands off to Wilkins, and Wilkins gets across the 25.
Stop by 6.
Not much, maybe a gain of 1.
Gain of 2 on the play, brings up a 2nd and 8. From the Cavaliers,
As I said, Brock
26
Wilkins
yard
was a
line.
monster for Kiski area last week. Pounding the ball up the middle and was basically just unstoppable on many occasions. You could see him wearing down that Franklin Regional defense as the game went on. And certainly the main cog for the Kiski rushing attack. Here's Johnson. Looks to his right. That's to LeBrin Smith. LeBrin Smith tries to make a move, and he's going to go nowhere. He's going to lose yards on the play. Cannot get the corner as he's pushed out of bounds right around the 23-yard line. Make it to 22, and that's a loss of 2 on the play.
By number 4, Corey Bordio. Loss of 3 on the backwards pass. Brings up a 3rd and 13 for the Cavaliers from their own 22-yard line.
3rd and 10. Here's Johnson. In the gun, 3 wide receivers to his left, Hilty, Hindley, and Dunbar. That's LeBrin Smith in motion. Logan rolls to his left, looking downfield. That's Hindley, and it's just out of his reach. Logan Johnson had Calvin Hindley streaking down the left sideline. Hindley gave his best effort and laid out for it, but unfortunately in and out of the hands or just out of the reach of Hindley's hands, and that'll bring up 4th and 10. Back to receive this punt for Latrobe is Cal Brewer and Colin Stevens. Cody Dykes set the punt for the Cavaliers. He's on his own 8-yard line. First team all-conference punter. Let's see what Cody can get off here. It's a high spiral by Cody Dykes. Great punt. Sends the Wildcat player back to the 33-yard line. Again, that was Colin Stevens on the fair catch. No return. And Latrobe will take over 1st and 10. Latrobe, not much going in their first offensive series. See what they can do here. Their second time out. Man in motion. That's Cal Brewer. Clayton's in the backfield. In the gun is Riot. Riot with a handoff. That's to Cal Brewer. Brewer's got the corner. Brewer's across midfield, and Brewer's going to go. 20-10 touchdown. Cal Brewer gives the Wildcats an early 6-0 lead. Wow. So we talked about Clayton, Drake Clayton for Latrobe, had over 200 yards rushing last week in a loss to Norwin. But here on the second possession, it's Cal Brewer who gives Latrobe the early advantage. Tanner Popella set to kick. The kick is blocked. And it's no good. So Latrobe leads here with 9:42 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0.
Latrobe scoring drive, 1 play, 67 yards. Cal Brewer into the
That was a
end zone.
67-yard run by Cal Brewer. In case you missed it, Brewer took it simply off the right side, off right end, and he was basically untouched. Hit the corner of the offensive line, and down the sideline he went. As Latrobe leads early on, 6-0 with 9:42 in the opening quarter. Back deep for Kiski is number 6, Matthew Hilty. And I believe that's number 22, Dom Danino. Set the kick for Latrobe is Tanner Popello.
And number 6, Matthew Hilty for the Cavaliers.
Danino and Hilty waiting at the 9-yard line. And that's where Hilty will grab it, make it to 10. Hilty tries the right side, slips through a tackle, and muscles his way close to the 30. I believe that ball will be spotted right around the 28, 29-yard line. Hilty got close to the 30-yard line. Decent return, and that's where the Cavalier offense will take over. 1st and 10, call it the 30-yard line. 6-0 with just over 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Here's Logan Johnson back at quarterback for the Cavaliers. Man in motion, that's Diltz. Logan Johnson fakes, no, he gives the ball to Wilkins. Wilkins off the right side, avoids the first tackler in the backfield, and is able to work his way up to the 38-yard line. Great play fake there, or great fake by Logan Johnson. Looked like he had it or was going to take it himself and run up the middle. Held it just long enough and let go for Brock Wilkins to sneak around right end. And that's a gain of 9 for the Cavaliers, bringing up 2nd and 1 from the 39. Johnson deep behind center. That's Wilkins behind him. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. That's Eric Holden on the right. Johnson looking right, now comes back left. He's going to go deep to Dom Danino. Dom Danino in and out of the hands. Latrobe defender had his hands in his face. Looked like there might have been a little bit of contact, but no flag on the play. Braden Riot, great job to knock the ball loose. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. So we talked about Riot in the pregame for his offensive abilities or potential offensive abilities from the quarterback position. And right there, playing defensive back and stopping the Cavaliers from a long gain. So here's 3rd and 1. Johnson hands off to Wilkins. Wilkins across the 40, approaches the 45, and it's going to be good for Kiski first down. Solid run by Brock Wilkins. As he has a seat, takes off his helmet.
Wilkins picks up a first down.
Kiski in general had some issues the first 2 games with cramping. And Wilkins was certainly one of those players that had issues several times in those first 2 games. Don't know what the issue here is on this play. Hope it's just a cramp, but Wilkins is down on the ground. We'll take a quick break here while we have a second. You're listening to High Top Sports Network.
Arms Care, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Arms Care can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Arms Care offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Arms Care at 724-545-3200 today.
And we're back at Memorial Stadium here with 8:31 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0 Latrobe leads. Right before we went to break there, Brock Wilkins was down for the Cavaliers, but fortunately he was able to jog off under his own power, so it certainly appears nothing major. Here's 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. That's Hilty in motion. Johnson in the gun. Takes the snap. Quick pass. Calvin Heinley. Heinley catches it shy of the 50 and works his way up into Latrobe territory to about the 45-yard line. And that is Calvin Heinley's first catch of the season. Nice to see Calvin finally get on the board. Quick, simple pass to Calvin Heinley over on the right side. And Heinley was able to get across the first down marker. And the Cavs will have another 1st and 10 from the 45. 6-0 Latrobe leads with just under 8 minutes remaining. There's Johnson again in the shotgun. That's Braden Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson hands off to Hepler, I believe. That is 26. That is Chad Hepler. Chad Hepler gets across the 45 down to the 43. Pickup of 2 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 8. That was Hepler's first carry of the game. As I stated before the Heinley pass, Brock Wilkins was down on the ground after picking up a 1st down, was able to run off under his own power. But this is the first time we've seen Hepler in action. So here's Johnson. And again, he goes to Hepler. Hepler approaches the 40, just short of it. Looks like the official's going to mark this around the 41-yard line. So call it another pickup of 2. Brings up a 3rd and 6.
For Kiski from the Wildcats 41. 3rd and 6 for the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers slowly working their way up the field. Big 3rd and 6 here with just over 6:30 remaining. One wide receiver, right and left. That's Hilty and Heinley. Here's Logan Johnson. Hands off to Hepler. Hepler going to try to left side. Avoids one tackle, but he cannot avoid the second one as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Cavaliers. Hepler, no gain on the play. Maybe even a loss of 1, depending on how you want to call it. But it's a 4th down, and Cody Dykes will come out to punt again for the Cavaliers. Back deep for the Wildcats, Kyle Brewer and Colin Stevens. Make it just Stevens now. Stevens alone on the 10 as he awaits the Dykes punt. Cody Dykes, kick is away. Angled out of bounds. Not a long one, but no return. And the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. So Kiski area, 2 tries on offense, no points. Latrobe hits the field for the 3rd time with a 6-0 lead. Their last possession was a huge touchdown run by Kyle Brewer, nearly 70 yards. So let's see what the Cavalier defense can do on this possession. Big possession here early going, 5:25 in the 1st quarter with the Cavs trailing 6-0. Here's a handoff. That is a fake handoff. I believe that's Riot that kept it. Excuse me, that was Corey Borio that was behind center. That was number 4, Corey Borio, that was behind center, and he kept it. And he was able to pick up 6 yards trying the middle of the Cavalier defense. Borio leaves the field, and now that's Braden Riot back on the field. So Riot in the gun for the Wildcats. Man in motion. Fake handoff. The give is to number 10. That's Drake Clayton. And he has nowhere to go. So it was a man in motion and a fake handoff. Give to Clayton. And Brock Wilkins was all over that. He snuffed that play out. Call it a loss of 3 on the play.
From the 28
Maybe 4. Brings up a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 for the Cats.
6-0. Latrobe leads with 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats from the 31-yard line. Here's Riot looking deep. He's hit. And the ball is picked off by Carter Diltz. Carter Diltz with the interception at the 25-yard line. And the Cavaliers take over.
With the interception.
What a play by the Cavaliers defense. Wasn't able to see who the number was on the hit. I thought it was Braden Dunmeyer. I'm not 100%, but Riot was leveled as he went to throw that pass. And Carter Diltz was waiting. And again, the Cavaliers defense comes up big. And they are in Wildcats territory deep at the 25-yard line. Timeout by Kiski. Wow, what a play. So let's get you caught up here. Or at least maybe let's reset. I'll reset myself. Latrobe was faced with a 3rd and 6. And Braden Riot had dropped back to pass. Looked like he had time. And out of nowhere, I believe that was Braden Dunmeyer that was able to hit as he went to throw. Ball was popped up in the air and right into the waiting arms of Carter Diltz. Kiski will take over 1st and 10 with 3:53 to go from the Latrobe 25. What a play by the Kiski area defense. We talked about it early in the pregame. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns by the Cavalier defense. And I believe a fumble recovery as well that led to a field goal. And here we go with another interception. Let's see what the Cavaliers offense can do with this turnover. That's Logan Johnson looking left. Now comes back right. He's got Matt Hilty. That's Hilty in the end zone. And that's a Kiski touchdown. What a throw and catch. Logan Johnson to Matt Hilty. Kiski ties the game on one play.
9-6 for 6.
The PA announcer said it right. 9-6 for 6. And we have a tie game. 3:47 in the opening quarter.
41, Cody Dykes to attempt the extra point.
Cody Dykes
Number 3, Calvin Heinley to
on
hold.
to attempt the extra point. The hold by Calvin Heinley was a bad snap. Heinley was able to grab it, and Dykes was able to put it through. So great job by Calvin Heinley. The ball bounced at least once right to Heinley, and he set it down. Cody Dykes knocked it down, and the Cavaliers lead 7-6. So if you missed us here in the pregame, we touched on a lot of things on the Cavalier offensive side, and one of which was late. We talked about the passing game. We talked about the lack of Calvin Heinley in terms of reception. Certainly he's been involved in helping out, but no receptions through 2 games. He was able to pick up his first catch of the season here earlier on. And the surprise for the Cavaliers offense has been Matthew Hilty through 2 games, the main receiver for Logan Johnson, the go-to guy for the Cavaliers offense through the air. And he showed it again here as Logan Johnson connected with Hilty in the end zone. And the Cavaliers lead 7-6. Stay tuned for our halftime show. Brought to you by Shevlin Concrete Construction. We welcome Shevlin Concrete Construction to the High Top Sports Network. Here's the kick, picked up by Latrobe around the 30-yard line. Across the 35, up to the 37, as I mentioned. 3:40 left in the first quarter. I'm alone here in the booth today, so you're going to get to hear me all night long. I know many of you tuned in just to hear my voice. You must not get enough of it throughout the week, so High Top Sports got the memo, and they said you're flying solo tonight. So I'm on my own, and I'm enjoying this 7-6 lead by Kiski area so far. Here's Latrobe. Quick pass over to Clayton. Clayton across the 40. Uh-oh. He's got a corner. And he is, going to be knocked out of the bounds. The ball was loose. It looked like Clayton had the sideline. And as I look at it now, I believe that was number 11. Excuse me. That's Colin Stevens. I thought it was number 10 at first. That was not Drake Clayton. That was Colin Stevens, who crossed the 50 down to the 28-yard line. Had a referee down on the play. Pardon my pause there. I was watching the referee for a second, but seems to be okay. He gives a thumbs up. He's back on the field, and the Wildcats offense is okay as they move into Kiski area territory at the 33-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Just missed a Cavalier defender in the backfield. Trying to find a number here for you. That was number 26 for the Cavaliers. Chad Hepler, that was in the backfield, was almost able to make that tackle as the snap to Riot fell to the ground. Riot was able to pick up 3 on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 7. Riot keeps it himself. Excuse me, that's Borio changing here at quarterback. It's number 4, Corey Borio. Tackled by Deshaun McBride. And Borio is able to pick up, call it 2. Brings up a 3rd and a long 4 or short 5.
3rd and 5.
Corey Borio, number 4. And Braden Riot, number 2, changing here at quarterback. That was Borio. And that handoff, I believe, was to Clayton.
Handoff to number 10, Drake.
That was Drake Clayton. Got close to that first down marker. Going to be interesting to see where they spot this ball. It is very close to the first down.
The game is enough for a Wildcat touchdown.
And indeed, the referee makes the call, and that was enough for a Wildcat first down. So Clayton with a pickup of 5, and it brings up 1st and 10 for Latrobe with 2:28 and counting in the opening quarter. Here's Riot in the shotgun. Alongside him is Clayton. Riot calls out the signals, takes a snap, fake handoff, and it's dumped off. That's number 6. He's across the 15, approaches the 10. Kyle Brewer. So a little quick dump off to Kyle Brewer. And he's forced out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. And that's another first down for Latrobe. Nifty play calling here. A lot of play action, a lot of misdirection. And they certainly have me confused. And right now on this drive, the Cavaliers' defense is on their heels as well. This is Borio now. Borio with the handoff. That's Brewer. Brewer across the 10, the 5. He's wrapped up by Braden Dunmire and thrown to the ground at the 2-yard line. So Brewer just shy of the goal line. We'll call it the 3. Pickup of 9 yards. 2nd and 1 from the 3. Very impressive drive by Latrobe after Kiski was able to score on the turnover. Latrobe with an interception on their last offensive series. But they are moving here. And here's Clayton. Clayton tripped up in the backfield by Logan Johnson. Logan Johnson came through like a missile from his defensive back position.
However, he's able to get the first.
And I believe Clayton was able to gain enough to get the first down. The ball spotted on the 2, and the marker is changed to first down. So while only a pickup of 1, it's good enough for a 1st and goal for Latrobe. Here's Borio in the gun. Clayton alongside. The handoff. Fake to Clayton. Borio keeps it himself, and he's stuffed. He's swallowed up by several Kiski defenders, led by Jack Kreider. I believe that was Jack Kreider, the first in on the stop there for Kiski. And that's going to be a loss of 2. So great job by junior Jack Kreider. He was able to help the Cavaliers, at least for now, hold the Wildcats out of the end zone. Flag on the play against Latrobe. So that'll move it back to the 6-yard line. First and goal from the 7. Here's Borio at quarterback. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. That's Clayton in the backfield. Man in motion is Brewer. Fake to Brewer. Borio spins out of a tackle. Down to about the 2-3 yard line. Tackle on the play by Don Danino. And that's going to be the last play of our opening quarter. So at the end of 1, Kiski area leads 7-6. You're listening to High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And they love it. They know it's going to. Well, what happened? Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where the Cavaliers lead 7-6 as we get set for the start of the second quarter. Latrobe with a very impressive drive here. If you're just tuning in, if you will, it's funny to say some of the old TV sayings. We got to get some more internet sayings. But tuning in, Latrobe on their last offensive possession threw an interception to Carter Diltz, and immediately Kiski was able to turn that into a touchdown. Logan Johnson to Matt Hilty. On Latrobe's next possession, they drive right down the field, and they are about to be faced with a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. So Latrobe very impressive on the offensive side. Obviously, replacement quarterback Braden Riot unfazed by that interception as he is moving his Wildcats right down the field. And approaching another lead. So here's Riot from the gun. He's going to hand off to Clayton. Clayton powers his way through Carter Diltz. Diltz had a chance to stop him right around the 1-yard line, But Clayton was able to keep his legs moving, and he fought his way in for a Wildcats touchdown. Drake Clayton with the second rushing touchdown of the first half here for Latrobe. The first by Kyle Brewer was a long one in the Wildcats' second possession. And for the second time, Latrobe leads, this time 12-7. Flag right before the snap. And it's going to be against Latrobe. False start on the Wildcats. We'll move this extra point back 5 yards. And Tanner Papala will look to extend Latrobe's lead to 13-7. Set the hold. Marco Mengeluso sets it. Kick is up. A line drive kick. And it's good. Papala's kick was good. And we have a 13-7 lead with 11:56 to go in the first half. So one play in the second half and another lead for Latrobe. Again, you're just tuning in. That was a 10-play drive by Latrobe. And as I said, very impressive. Just meticulously moving the ball down the field. A lot of misdirection, some play action, a lot of confusion on the Kiski defense as Latrobe marches their way down and is able to answer with a touchdown of their own. So 11:56 here in the second quarter. Latrobe leads 13-7. Back to receive the kick for the Cavaliers. That's Matthew Hilty to the near side. Dom Danino on the far side. Tanner Papala, the senior, set the kick for Latrobe.
Number 1, Tanner Papala, kickoff for the Cats. 22, Dominic Danino.
Papala
For Kiski.
getting set to kick. It's a short one. Gathered in by Hilty at the 13. He's across the 25. Across the 35. Before he's tripped up by number 23 for Latrobe. That's Marco Mangeluzzo.
Brought down by number 36.
And the Cavaliers will take over on the 37-yard line.
Just got 36 yards on the return. First and 10 Cats from their own 36.
First and 10 for the Cavaliers. From the 37, that's Logan Johnson at quarterback. It looks like Hepler in the backfield with him. Indeed it is. That's a handoff to Hepler. Hepler grinding his way across the 40, up to the 45 and close to the first down marker. Very powerful run up the middle by Chad Hepler. He was brought down at the 46-yard line and about a half a yard short on the first down marker. So pickup of 9 by Chad Hepler. Brock Wilkins left the game somewhat late in the first quarter. He was down on the field. He was able to run off on his own power. But we haven't seen him on the offensive side yet since that play. For the Cavaliers, it's been Hepler and Hepler only in the backfield. Here's Logan Johnson, again to Hepler. Hepler across the 50 into Latrobe territory, down to about the 48-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for a Kiski first down.
Brought down by number 6, Kyle Brewer.
Tackle by Kyle Brewer on the play.
6 yards on the carry in the Wildcats territory.
Gives the Cavaliers a first and 10 from the 48 with just under 11 minutes remaining in the second quarter. That's Matthew Hilty at wide out on the near side. Hindley on the far side. Logan Johnson in the gun, and Hepler behind him. Here's Johnson. Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson takes it, hands off to Hepler. Hepler's going to try the left side this time. He's across the 45. He breaks through at the 40, the 20, the 10, one man to beat, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the pylon for a Kiski touchdown. 48-yard touchdown run by Chad Hepler, and Kiski area ties the game at 13.
Number 41, Cody Dykes.
Chad Hepler.
Number 3, Calvin Hindley, the hole.
All Chad Hepler on that drive, as Kiski area ties the game with 10:11 remaining. Here's another low snap. Again, great job by Calvin Hindley. Pick it up off the ground so Cody Dykes could kick it through, and Kiski leads 14-13.
Scoring drive, 3 plays, 63 yards.
That drive was 3 plays and 63 yards, and all 63 from the legs of Chad Hepler. So, as I mentioned, it was Brock Wilkins early in the game. Few successful runs, but nothing overly exciting. He was tackled and down on a play later in the first quarter, and since it's been all Chad Hepler in the backfield, and certainly on that drive, it was 100% Chad Hepler as Kiski area regains the lead 14-13. Back deep for the Wildcats is Kyle Brewer and Drake Clayton. Call it Colin Stevens. Colin Stevens, not Clayton, back for the Wildcats. Set to kick for the Cavaliers is Cody Dykes. Dykes with a line drive. Hits a Latrobe player at the 30. It's a scramble for it. The ball is loose. No signal. It's over on the Cavaliers sideline. I don't see any excitement by the Cavaliers player, so I'm going to assume that Latrobe was able to fall on it. And indeed they did. Line drive kick by Cody Dykes. Hit off a Latrobe player right around the 30-yard line. Ball bounced toward the Kiski side. And fortunately for the Wildcats, they were able to fall on it. A man down for the Cavaliers on the far side. Can't quite see the number. That may be number 6, Matthew Hilty. Or it could be number 5. That is number 6, Matthew Hilty. Trainer's looking at him right now. He's sitting up. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Let's take a quick break here. You're listening to the High Tops Sports Network.
Arms Care, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Arms Care can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Arms Care offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Arms Care at 724-545-3200 today.
Thank you to our friends at Arm Care. We are back here at Latrobe with 10:07 left in the second quarter. Before we went to break, that was Matthew Hilty down for the Cavaliers. Fortunately, he was able to get up and get off on their zone power. So Latrobe's offense will take over, 1st and 10. Here's Riot being chased by Logan Johnson. But he is able to escape. And a great run by Braden Riot across midfield into Cavalier territory. Little slow by me on the call there. I thought Logan Johnson was going to be able to make a play in the backfield, but great speed by Riot. He kept it all the way, and that was a heck of a run. And it's a 1st and 10 for Latrobe in Kiski territory. Three wide receivers for the Wildcats. Here's a handoff. That is the Brewer. Brewer gets out of a tackle right around the line of scrimmage, and Brewer is able to crawl his way up to close to the 40-yard line. Looks like Brewer is going to be stopped in the backfield. Unfortunately for the Cavaliers, he slipped out of that one and was able to pick up 7 yards. So call it a 2nd and 3 from the 41. Just over 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Well, it looks like Riot at quarterback. Hand off to Clayton. Clayton is going to be hit and stuffed. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. That was Braden Dunbar on the tackle. Flag late on the play. Didn't see where that flag came from, but it was certainly after the tackle. And it's going to be against the Cavaliers. Holding against the defense. So there's a call you don't typically see. Holding against the defense. And a great run stop by the Cavaliers defense is going to be an unfortunate penalty and another 1st down for Latrobe. 1st and 10 from the 41, make that the 33-yard line. 8:40 and counting. Man in motion. And he moved early. So flag going to be a legal motion. Make it false start. False start on Latrobe. We'll move that back 5 yards. Cavaliers coaches up here in the booth beside me. They were all over that flag. Able to assist me on that one. 1st and 15 from the 37 now.
1st and 15 for the Cavs. From the Cavalier 37.
That's Borio in the backfield. And he hands off to Clayton. Clayton's going to try that left side. And he's across the 30. Lowers his shoulder at the 25. Clayton up to the 35-yard line. Make it the 25-yard line. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Hilty was able to knock Clayton out of bounds there on the far side. But a solid game by Clayton gives the Wildcats a manageable 2nd and 3. Here's Borio. Fakes the handoff to Clayton. Here's a pass to Brewer. Brewer gets in and out of a tackle, and he's going to get in the end zone. Fake handoff, throw and catch. Borio to Brewer, and that is a Latrobe touchdown.
Number 1, Tanner Capella to kick for the Cats. 23, Marco Lizzo to hold.
19-14, Latrobe leads with 7:59 in the second quarter. Here's Tanner Papella. Set, and it's a fake. And they're going to go nowhere. That was Marco Mangialuzzo, who was set to hold. He caught the snap and took off. It was a great snap, so I would say that was a designed fake or a designed 2-point conversion attempt. But Mangialuzzo, long name there, Mangialuzzo, was hit and stopped immediately. And the score will remain 19-14 with 7:59 to go. So as I said, on the last few possessions for Latrobe offense, a lot of play action, a lot of misdirection. And again, we saw it there on the touchdown. That was Corey Borio at the quarterback position. He faked the handoff to Clayton, immediately pulled it back, and found Brewer on the slant. Brewer was able to get out of a tackle, and Brewer was able to able to pick up a touchdown and give Latrobe their third lead of the night. So back and forth we go, Latrobe and Kiski. And what's been a very exciting first half. Thank you for tuning in again to High Top Sports Network. We're happy to have you. Very exciting to be announcing home and away games this year. You can tune in to High Top Sports Network all season long for all the Cavalier football and hopefully all Cavalier sports here later on. Here's the kick by Latrobe. The ball it hit one of the Cavalier players. I believe that was Dom Danino in the back. That ricocheted off his hands. And then it was picked up by another Cavalier player, fortunately. And he was able to sneak his way up across the 35-yard line. Call it the 36 and a half. And that's where the Cavaliers will take over, 1st and 10, with 7:52 remaining. Here's Logan Johnson in the gun. He's got Heinley and Hilty to his left. Dunmire in motion. That's a handoff to Hepler. Hepler's going to try the left side. Gets out of a tackle. The ball's on the ground. The ball is loose. It looked like Hepler was able to come up with it. And indeed he did. Chad Hepler tried that left side again where he scored the touchdown on the Cavs' last possession. Slipped out of a shoestring tackle, but as he did, the ball popped loose. And it took a fortunate bounce back in Hepler's direction. He was able to scoop it up before the Latrobe defender could. So Cavaliers will have a 2nd and 8 from the 39. Great break for Kiski area there. Here's Logan Johnson. Quick pass to Hilty. Hilty across the 40, the 45, and he's thrown out of bounds just shy of midfield. But I believe it's going to be enough for a first down. So the Cavaliers having some success through the first 3 games with that quick wide receiver screen. Hilty scored on it, I believe, the last game. It might have been the Butler game. My memory, I'm getting a little bit older, so my memory starts to escape me sometimes. But I do remember Hilty scoring on that wide receiver screen early in the season. I will say it was in game 1 now that I retrace it. And we saw Calvin Heinley catch his first pass of the game on the same similar pass on the opposite side. Here's Logan Johnson looking for Hilty and a miscommunication. Hilty was breaking down the left sideline, and it looked like he was coming out of his break right around the 35. As he was slowing down, Logan Johnson launched it downfield, and it sailed long, well past where Matthew Hilty was, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. At first glance, I thought that was Calvin Heinley streaking down the sideline. But that was a 6 and on the 3. And again, a miscommunication between Johnson and Hilty brings up 2nd down. Here's Hepler. Hepler bounces his way up the right sideline, and he is drug out of bounds around the 19. Chad Hepler off right tackle and bouncing outside. And he brings the Cavaliers deep into Wildcat territory, down to the 20, and good enough for Kiski first down. Flag on the far side at the 32-yard line, and it's going to go against the Cavaliers. Holding on the play As I said, late, Hepler was drug out of bounds around the 20, and once all the players cleared and made their way to their respective sides, you could see a yellow flag laying over on the 30, and unfortunately for the Cavaliers, that play is going to come back to the 42. So 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Here's Logan Johnson with Dunmeyer right beside him and Hepler behind him. The handoff's going to go to Hepler. Hepler stutter steps his way, and he's going to go nowhere. Either Hepler was unsure of where to go, or he was slowly trying to read where to go. Either way, there was nowhere to go. And it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. Not much doing for Chad Hepler on that run. And it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 43-yard line with just over 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. 4 wide receivers for the Cavaliers. 3 to the left, Danita, Heinley, Hilty, and 1 to the right, that's Holden. Here's Logan Johnson. Quick screen to Danino. Danino across the 35 to the 30. Danino's got the corner to the 20, inside the 15, and he's out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So another quick throw and catch, this time Logan Johnson to Dom Danino. And Dom Danino gives the Cavaliers a first down. The Cavalier coaches, as I mentioned earlier, in the booth right beside me to my left, were hollering for a timeout on the play. And a good thing for the Cavaliers, not one was called as Johnson. Quick screen to Dom Danino, who's filling in for Dylan Hutcherson, who's typically the Cavaliers' third receiver. Danino with a great catch and run. And the Cavaliers have a first down. Here is Braden Dunmeyer. I was trying to find the number. At first, I thought it was Brock Wilkins because we're so used to seeing the big back. When you see a guy in the backfield for Kiski dragging players and grinding his way yard after yard, typically that's Brock Wilkins. But that was not number 7. That was number 4. Braden Dunmeyer with his first carry of the night gives Kiski a 2nd and 5 from the 6. Tough run by Braden Dunmeyer there. As I said, his first carry of the night. Here's Logan Johnson. He's going to take it himself this time. Makes a little cut. And he avoids a tackle, loses his helmet, and there's a signal from the ref, and that's a touchdown. Wow. What a run. That was crazy. I'm stunned myself. A lot of smiles up here in the booth. Logan Johnson kept the ball. Looked like he was going to go off tackle. Made a nifty little cut, jump cut, however you want to call it. Cut his way back in between the guard and the center. And it looked like he was tackled. His helmet came off. And next thing you know, he's in the end zone. The referee on the near sideline signaled touchdown. Now they are on the field talking. The ball was spotted at the 3. My guess is this is not going to be a touchdown because his helmet was off. That's why I had a pause and was very surprised. I thought the play would have been ruled dead.
They just requested the ball be put in the right hash.
I have no idea what's going on here. I apologize. I don't have our trusty rules official with us. Normally when we're at home at Diltz Field, we have a WPIAL official in the booth with us, and he's able to clarify some things for me. Kiski took a timeout here. Coach Sam Albert is talking, as you can see, to the referee, trying to get a clarification. As you can see, he saw the same signal I saw. There was a signal by the referee for a touchdown. I'm going to go by Coach Albert's body language and say it is not a touchdown because he does not seem very pleased. We're still waiting for a ruling. Referee now coming over to the Latrobe sideline. And he's going to talk to head coach Jason Maruco. And they're going to get an explanation of the play. And let's look at his reaction to see if we can figure out if this is a touchdown or not. I'm sure there might be a few of you at home that can make your guess of the play. The PA announcer saying Kiski's setting up for an extra point, and indeed, I see Cody Dykes on the field, so Coach Sam Albert should also be a poker player because he faked me out with his reaction. And regardless of what I say and what I think, I'm going to tell you that that's a touchdown. Crazy play as Cody Dykes sets up for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's good. And officially, the Cavaliers lead 21-19. Wildcats. 21-19 with 4:57 to go. Again, there was a lot of confusion on that play. First, it was Logan Johnson just getting out of a tackle. It looked like he was going to be down just shy of the goal line. And then his helmet came off. Next thing you know, he's in the end zone. Only one referee signaled a touchdown. And then there was a powwow, if you will, between the referees. And here we are 4 or 5 minutes later, and finally we get a ruling Kiski touchdown. So the Cavaliers retake the lead, 21-19 with 4:57 to go. Back to kick for Kiski is Cody Dykes. Again, back for the Wildcats is Brewer and Stevens. Squib kick picked up into 35. That's number 14 for Latrobe. Ben Stratton. Stratton was able to dodge a would-be Kiski tackler. And Stratton brings the ball all the way up to the 48-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will take over with 4:49 to go. So just one final clarification on that touchdown. Again, I will pat myself on the back for this one. The confusion came when the helmet came off. I was talking to one of the Kiski coaches right before that kick, and the confusion came when the helmet came off. Was he going to be ruled down before he got in the end zone? Fortunately for Kiski area, the play and the touchdown stood, and that's where we are. Kiski leads by 2. Here's a throw and a catch. Riot, I believe, over to number 6. That's Kyle Brewer. And Brewer is able to sneak his way into Cavalier territory. The 49-yard line. That's a gain of 3.
Getting into Kiski territory for 49.
2nd and 7. With just over 4 minutes remaining. Stay tuned for the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show, where I will be your host. Here's a pass to Brewer again, and Brewer is hit by Logan Johnson just shy of the 45-yard line. I believe that was Riot on the throw.
3 yards on the pitch and catch.
Another 3 yards on the throw and catch. I'll bring up a 3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line. Great job by Logan Johnson to come from the safety position to make the tackle before Brewer is able to pick up anything significant. 3rd and 4, just over 3 minutes to go. This time it's Borio. Borio with a quick pass over the middle. Caught. And a great job by Dom Danino to make the tackle. Brewer on the catch. Bobbled it for a split second. And I believe that half a second was enough for Dom Danino to get in there and make the tackle. Latrobe picked up a first down at the 36-yard line. So what could have been a big play, fortunately for the Cavs, is just a simple first down as Dom Danino was able to make the stop. Brewers in motion. Flag on the play. And it's going to be a false start against Latrobe. So that'll back the Wildcats up 5 yards. And it'll bring up 1st and 15 with 2:47 and counting. Riot comes back in to quarterback for Latrobe. In the backfield is Clayton. Here's Riot looking left. Dumps it over the middle and in and out of the hands of Mongaluzzo. Mongaluzzo looked like he had a little bit of room to run, but he was unable to hold on. And it'll bring up 2nd and 15. The clock will stop at 2:23 in the first half. That's Riot looking left. Fires left. It's caught by Borio. Borio is able to get back to the original line of scrimmage at the 37-yard line. Tackled by Braden Dunmeyer on the play. I believe Logan Johnson was in on that tackle as well. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 37-yard line. We are under 2 minutes remaining now in the first half. And this is Riot. And this is a timeout. So we're going to take a timeout. This timeout was by Latrobe. And we'll take a break as well. You're listening to the High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Welcome back to Latrobe as the Wildcats are driving with 1:39 remaining in the second quarter. Kiski leads 21-19. As we come out of a Latrobe timeout, the Wildcats are going to be faced with a 3rd and 10 from the 37-yard line. I believe that's Riot at quarterback. He's got 2 receivers on each side and a man in the backfield. Riot's going to look to his right. He's going to go down the middle, and the pass is incomplete. That was LeBrin Smith on the coverage for the Cavaliers. The pass was intended for Mongaluzzo. Mongaluzzo was looking for a flag on the play. It looked very clean to me. LeBrin Smith was running stride for stride, and the pass almost looked like it was thrown behind Mongaluzzo. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 10 with 1:34 remaining. So it'd be interesting to see what Latrobe does here. They're in that questionable area. It's certainly too long to kick a field goal. With time running out in the first half, you think that they would maybe entertain going for it, and it looked like they were. You saw both quarterbacks on the field. And regardless, Latrobe's going to take a timeout, and they're going to take a little more time to think about it. So 4th and 10 from the 37 with 1:34 remaining. Latrobe had both of their quarterbacks out on the field, Riot and Borio. Not quite sure who's listed as the punter. I don't see anything on the sheet here. Tanner Papala has been doing the kicking duties for Latrobe, number 1. And indeed, he is listed as a punter. I didn't see him on the field before that timeout, so I believe Latrobe was set to go for it. But as I said, timeout was called, the second of this drive. And we'll see what the Wildcats come up with 1:34 left in the second quarter. Again, stay tuned for the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. Excited to have Shevlin Concrete Construction as one of our partners here on the High Top Sports Network, as Latrobe going for it on the fourth down the left sideline. That's Isaiah Gonzalez on the coverage, and indeed, Gonzalez comes up with it. Great job by Isaiah Gonzalez. Ball was thrown basically as a jump ball.
Intercepted by number 1.
Pass was intended to, looks like number 5, Chase Sickenberger. And Gonzalez came down for it. So while certainly a great job by Isaiah on the coverage, and I know he's going to be excited about the interception, I almost wish he batted the ball down, as Kiski's going to take over on the 5-yard line rather than, I believe it was the 37 on the last play. But regardless, great job by Gonzalez, and Kiski's offense will take the field with 1:27 remaining. Here's Johnson in the gun in his own end zone. Man in motion is Dunmeyer, and there's a whistle. Whistle's on the play because there's a ball still on the field from the last play. Refs will clean that up, and we'll restart. Logan Johnson in his own end zone. I believe that's Hepler behind him. He's going to hand off to Hepler, and Hepler's going to work his way up across the 10 to the 13-yard line. Pickup of 8. Hepler up the middle for the Cavs. And just over 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Kiski deep in their own territory. "15 seconds on the play clock. Game clock at 45. The Cavaliers in no hurry. Here's Logan Johnson. He's going to hand off again to Hepler. Hepler going to try the right side, and he's going to get tripped up. That was Drake Clayton in the backfield. Clayton tripped up Hepler before he could get the corner. And I believe Hepler was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And we'll call it a 3rd and 2. Play clock reading 18 and the game clock at 15. So I believe that will be the final play of our first half. The Cavaliers still in the huddle. Not overly excited to come out. And time's going to run out in our first half. So that is the last play of the opening half. In a back and forth contest, your Cavaliers, or our Cavaliers, lead 21-19. We're going to take a quick pause here, and we're going to welcome you back for the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. You're listening to High Top Sports Network, home of the Cavaliers.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project in Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Halftime show as your Cavaliers lead 21-19. As we said in the opening weeks of the High Top Sports Network, season opener in week 0, week 1, the bands are just as important as the football games themselves. And we know how much, especially in the Kiski area, how much you love the band. So we're going to take a pause and let you be entertained by the students of the Kiski area marching band. So thank you to Shevlin Concrete Construction. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiski area marching band.
The drum majors for the Big Ten marching band this year are Camille Graham and Gianna Krause. The guard captains, Macy Odd, Abby Mortensen, and Mackenzie Hughes. This evening, the Kiski area marching band will be performing the first and second productions of their show entitled Beneath the Shifting Sands. The music you will hear tonight comes from various sources, including a track selection named Crystal Pyramid from the Cirque du Soleil show Totem, and a piece of music called Hodge by the composer Stephen Malillis. Several instrumentalists are featured in our show, starting with Lucas Grundy on guitar, along with David Shevlin on the alto saxophone, and Cooper Sluka on the soprano saxophone. Cooper also performs throughout our second production. Our soloists and other musicians are supported by our world-class choreographed performers who add a stunning visual package to our exciting show. As soon as our front ensemble is all powered up and ready to go, we will be ready to roll. Be back in 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, now performing a show beneath the shifting sands, the Kiski High School marching band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kiski Area High School Cavalier Marching Band. On behalf of the entire Kiski Area Marching Band and Kiski Area Instrumental Boosters, we would like to thank you for watching our performance this evening and look forward to the next time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Greater Latrobe Senior High School is proud to present to you the 2021-2022 edition of the Greater Latrobe Wildcats Marching Band. This year's show is entitled Piano Man, featuring music of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, and Ray Charles. This year's captains are Rihanna Kareem, clarinets, Kristen Stratton, saxophone, Elena Sark, brass, Sarah Mowry, drumline, Amanda Fritz, color guard, Alexandra Lucon, and Ashlyn Winitschko. This year's band is under the direction of our drum major, Reese McCracken. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Greater Latrobe Wildcats Marching Band. Let's hear it one more time for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats marching band.
See if he has any stats. Welcome back to Latrobe in the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. Again, great job by both the bands, but of course, excellent job by our own Kiski marching band. Gotta say thanks to the Kiski stat man here. We got some stats from the first half. Kiski area was 75 yards passing. Logan Johnson was 4 for 7 with a touchdown. On the Latrobe side, 103 yards by a couple passers, as we mentioned in the first half. Corey Borio and, lost my place here on my page, Braden Riot combining for 103 yards for the Wildcats. On the ground for Kiski area, 16 carries for 139 yards, led by C.J. Hepler, who had 112 of those. C.J. Hepler with 11 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown, leading the way for the Cavaliers. On the ground for Latrobe, a host of rushers, as the Wildcats were able to pile up 114 yards rushing. So the score shows, the stats show what the scores show on the scoreboard. Even statistics and basically even on the scoreboard. Kiski leads 21-19. It was a back and forth game throughout the first half. Latrobe struck first midway through the first quarter, and it's been basically back and forth the entire way as neither team can gain a comfortable lead, and neither defense can really do much to stop the opposing offense. Kiski area been very oppressive, rushing and passing in the first half. As I mentioned, Logan Johnson, 4 of 7. He also threw a touchdown pass. That was the Matt Hilty. Matt Hilty has been solid for the Cavaliers all season long, and he showed it again here in the first half. 75 yards passing for the Cavaliers. And as I said, 139 yards on the ground, led by C.J. Hepler. So a little over 210 combined yards. On the flip side, Latrobe, same thing, a little under 220 combined yards through the air and on the ground. 114 on the ground, 103 through the air, so very balanced, as we saw 4 or 5 people touching the ball for the Wildcats in the first half. As I said, you're listening to the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. Want to say thank you to all of our sponsors here at the High Top Sports Network. At some of our other games, we have some scores from other High Top Sports broadcasts. Armstrong is leading McKeesport 14-10. Avonworth has the advantage on Freeport 14-0. And Knock is leading Deer Lakes 21-7. So give a shout out to the other guys over at the High Top Sports Network for sending out those scores to us here at Memorial Stadium. We're just under 2 minutes remaining in the halftime, the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime. Got to say thank you to all of our sponsors. If you are a business or know a business in the area, please make sure you reach out to the High Top Sports Network. Without your support, we cannot broadcast these games. So I know we have had several thousand people tuning in to us live and via replay, whether it be on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and or our website. But we've had thousands of people tuning in to the High Top Sports Network, and we certainly appreciate all of our sponsors. So again, if you're a business in the area, please reach out to me and or the High Top Sports Network, and we'd love to add you to Shevlin Concrete Construction. Shevlin Concrete Construction is Western PA's choice for customized driveways, floors, patios, and more. Named the 2020 winner of Trib Total Media's Best Construction Company, Shevlin Concrete Construction has more than 25 years of experience. You can stand on craftsmanship, integrity, and traditions with Shevlin Concrete Construction. Call today for a free estimate and design consultation at 724-681-4526 or like us on Facebook. That's Shevlin Concrete Construction, 724-681-4526. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors and newly added Shevlin Concrete Construction. We're happy to have you here on the High Top Sports Network, and we're excited for this second half. What a back and forth game. If you missed us in the first half, you missed a lot. As Kiski leads 21-19, we have just over 200 yards of offense from both teams in the first half. A well-balanced attack by both offenses. Certainly the defense, they've had their moments, as we saw Kiski with another interception in the first half. Carter Diltz this time helping set up Kiski area. Other than that, a few stops here and there, it's been all on the offensive side. So what we thought was going to be, potentially, I wouldn't call it a defensive game, but certainly we thought the defense would have their say in this game. Other than one play by Carter Diltz, it's been the all offense. So we're about set for the second half. Again, thank you again to Shevlin Concrete Construction for your participation and your sponsorship at the High Top Sports Network as we get set for half number 2. Here's Matt Hilty from the 18-yard line. Works his way across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Hilty bobbled that line drive kick. And you could hear the Kiski coaches over here beside me in the booth. It looked like Hilty had some room to run around the left edge. He bobbled the kick. Wasn't really able to gain much steam as he tried the left side, and he was tripped up at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Cavs offense will take over, 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson takes a snap, hands off to Hepler. Hepler's going to try the left side again, and Hepler's going to sneak free. Across the 30, pushed out of bounds right around the 35-yard line. C.J. Hepler gains about 7 for the Cavaliers. The person we didn't talk about at halftime in our Chevlin Concrete Construction halftime show was Brock Wilkins. Brock Wilkins was carrying the ball early on for the Cavaliers. Unfortunately, hit the ground with an injury, wasn't able to get a report at halftime what happened, and since then it's been all C.J. Hepler. The Cavaliers haven't missed the beat, however. Hepler has well over 100 yards, and Kiski is going to go right back to him again. This time, Hepler's going to get tripped up at the line of scrimmage, called a no gain. But as I said, Wilkins picked up 3 or 4 carries in the early going, and then from there, it was all Hepler as he collected 112 yards on 11 carries and a touchdown. We got 3rd and 2 from the 36, with just over 11 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter of the second half. Here's Johnson, handoff Hepler. Hepler going to make a cut. He's going to get across the 40 and dives across the 41 up to the 42-yard line. Tackle on the play by Clayton. And, excuse me, that was Clayton. Clayton limping off the field. After he made that tackle, you could see him favoring his ankle. Coach is looking at him on the sideline. That Hepler run was good enough for a first down, so Kiski has a new set of downs on the 41. Here's Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson again is going to hand off to Hepler. Hepler's going to try the right side, and Hepler's going to fail. Nothing doing as a swarm of Wildcat defenders swallowed up C.J. Hepler 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So big loss on first down for the Cavaliers. Caught 2nd and 13 from the 39. Four wide receivers for Logan Johnson. That's Dunmeyer in motion. Johnson in the gun. Looking right. Dumps it off. That's Matt Hilty. Hilty tried to escape a tackler, but he's only going to pick up 3. Great job by the Latrobe defender on that play. Looked like Hilty was going to be able to slip out of that tackle, and he had some room to run. But he was only able to pick up 3 yards as the Cavalier offense is going to be faced with a 3rd and 10 from the 42. Again, 4 wide receivers for the Cavaliers. This time 3 to the right. Lone receiver to the left is Holden. Logan Johnson avoids a tackle across the 40, the 45, the 50. He's still on his feet. Inside Latrobe territory, that's Logan Johnson. Tackled down at the Latrobe 39-yard line. Great job by Logan Johnson to make something out of nothing. The Cavaliers had 4 wide receivers on that play. Johnson, I do not believe that was a design run as he looked down the field. And several Wildcat defenders were coming into his face from all sides as he worked his way through the middle and into Latrobe territory. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 39, 8:28 and counting. Logan Johnson hands off to C.J. Hepler, and Hepler's going to be stopped again. That's 2 consecutive runs by Hepler that are going to bring up a significant amount of negative yards. Again, we're going to call this one a loss of 4. The last Hepler run was a loss of 3. So after gaining over 100 yards in the first half, C.J. Hepler loses 7 on his last 2. And the Cavaliers will take a timeout. Timeout on the field with 7:50 remaining in the third quarter. Cavaliers lead 21-19. If you didn't hear our scores at halftime, let's get you caught up from some other games on the High Top Sports Network. Armstrong leads McKeesport 14-10. Avonworth shutting out the Yellow Jackets right now 14-0. And Knock has the advantage on Deer Lakes 21-7. So two of the three High Top Sports teams leading right now at halftime. Armstrong and Knock. Be curious to see when we get our next report from the Freeport game if the Yellow Jackets can get some things going on the offensive side as they trail right now 14-0. We're early on in the third quarter here, almost midway through. The Cavaliers lead 21-19. As we come out of the timeout, the Cavaliers will be faced with a 2nd and 13. I wish I had my sidekick here tonight. I wasn't able to remember if Brock Wilkins played on the defensive side in the first half. After that injury, totally got lost in the game, calling the play, and I can't remember if I saw Brock Wilkins on the defensive side. We have not seen him on offense yet. Here's LeBrin Smith, the quarterback, and whatever play that was, it did not work. LeBrin Smith making his first appearance at quarterback, and it wasn't a good one, as the Cavaliers are going to walk back or get pushed back or get stopped for a 7-yard loss. LeBrin Smith took the snap from shotgun, and he had nowhere to go, as the Cavaliers will be faced with a 3rd and 20. Johnson is back in at quarterback. He's got 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. He's looking left. Quick screen to Hindley. Hindley across the 45. He's hit. That is number 9, Connor Lakin. Lakin with the tackle right around the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, but still a 4th and long for the Cavaliers. And it looks like the punt team is going to come out. So the quick wide receiver screen again is successful for the Cavaliers, but not successful enough. Cavaliers faced with 4th and 10, so Cody Dykes will come out for the Cavs. He's standing on his own 46-yard line. Back deep for Latrobe is Colin Stevens. Here's a high kick by Dykes, collected by Stevens at the 8. He slips out of the first tackle, but he cannot avoid the next 2. Stevens was tackled right around the 8-yard line where he first caught the ball, but there's a flag on the play. Flag on the play right where Stevens was tackled. And it's going to go against Latrobe. Illegal block in the back by the Wildcats. So what would have been 1st and 10 from the 8 or 9 is now going to get marched down to the 4-yard line. So half the distance of the goal on that penalty. And Latrobe will take over for the first time in the second half, trailing by 2 with 6:07 to go.
Ball be spotted at the Wildcats 4-yard line. 1st and 10 Cats from their own 4.
Latrobe offense coming out of the huddle. It looks like Riot at quarterback. Riot looking to pass. He's going to go deep. He's got a man open, and that's caught at the 34-yard line by number 23, Marco Mongaluzzo was wide open down that left seam. And Latrobe picks up a huge first down. 36-yard throw and catch to Mongaluzzo. I tell you what, if Braden Riot is the backup, I would hate to see just how good starting quarterback Bobby Fetter was. As Riot looking very sharp here tonight. Here he is again, this time with the reverse. That's Brewer. Brewer's going to go nowhere. Great job by the Cavaliers defense. Disciplined on that play. And the Wildcats are going to go backwards. Loss of 3. Brings up a 2nd and 13.
2nd and 14.
3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like that was Borio. He handed off to Clayton, and Clayton's down the sideline. Clayton with a burst of speed across midfield, knocked out of bounds right around the Cavalier 46-yard line. That's the longest run of the night for Clayton, I believe. And that's going to be enough for the first down.
Clayton, 17 yards around right.
Drake Clayton, fairly quiet in the opening first half after rushing for over 200 yards last week. He's able to run down into Kiski territory and give the Wildcats a new set of downs. Here's a handoff to Clayton again. He's going to try the right side again. Lowers his shoulder hard into the Cavalier defender. That was LeBrin Smith. LeBrin Smith stays on his feet. But what a hit by Clayton at the 40-yard line. Called a gain of 3. Brings up a 2nd and 7. So I was questioning whether we had Brock Wilkins on the defensive side in the first half. I'm not sure if that's the case, but he is here on the field here in the second half from his middle linebacker position. So while we may not have seen Brock Wilkins in the backfield since that injury, he is on the field defensively here for the Cavaliers. I'm going to say he was on the field defensively after that injury. I believe I remember seeing him out there for a few plays. But regardless, he's on the field now. There's a timeout on the field. By Latrobe. That's their first of this half with 4:47 in the third quarter. Latrobe trailing by 2, 21-19. Wilkins was having an intellectual discussion with the referee at that timeout there. Not quite sure what the discussion was, but very easy to see him back on the field as he was the lone Cavalier player not in the huddle during that timeout. He and the referee having a discussion. And we're back to action. Here's a handoff to number 11. That's Stevens. Stevens going to try the left side, and he's going to fail. Stevens maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Matthew Hilty. And indeed, no gain on the play, as it brings up a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats from the 43-yard line. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. I believe I saw Braden Riot re-enter the field for Latrobe. I believe that's him in the shotgun, and indeed it is. He's looking to the left. He's going to dump it to Clayton. Clayton's going to be hit and stopped right at the 45-yard line by Isaiah Gonzalez. Not used to hearing Gonzalez's name on too many tackles. He's normally in on coverage. But Gonzalez was able to come up and make a great play on Clayton. And nothing doing for the Wildcats on that play. Brings up a 4th and 8 from the 44, and the punt team is out for Latrobe. Deep to receive for the Cavaliers. On his own 11 is Matthew Hilty. Hilty settles underneath it with his back foot on the 10, and he'll pick up maybe 2 as he was swallowed up by a few Wildcat defenders there. That was number 9 for Latrobe, Connor Lakin. And I want to say number 25, Alex Tosh. So number 25, Alex Tosh, getting his first mention of tonight. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 13. Kiski, one wide receiver right, one left, Hindley and Hilty. We have 2 backs deep behind center. That's Dunmeyer and Hepler. And Johnson in at quarterback. Johnson from the gun. Takes a snap. He gives it to Hepler. Hepler off guard. Going to try to bounce the left side. Pickup of maybe 2. And Hepler stays down on the field. It looks like one of his teammates helping him stretch that right leg.
26, Chad Hepler for the carry.
That was Carter Diltz helping the trainers out there. We're going to take a quick break with 2:54 remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to the Hot Top Sports Network.
From the 15-yard line.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Latrobe. 2:54 remaining in the third quarter. The Cavaliers are faced with a 2nd and 8 from the 15-yard line, leading by 2. Here's Hilty in motion. That's Johnson in the gun. Looks, pump fakes to Hilty, and he's got Hindley down the sideline. And it's just too far. Kiski area looked like they were setting up that screenplay. It was a fake screen. Johnson with a very nice fake. Rocked his shoulders. I didn't see the corner that was covering Hilty. Or excuse me, I didn't see the corner that was covering Hindley. But I did see Hindley have a few steps. That ball was thrown a few yards too deep, and unfortunately the Cavaliers are going to be faced with 3rd down. Again, Hindley trying to get involved. We've seen him open a few times in the first few games. We had him open here tonight. Logan Johnson just unable to connect with them. Flag on the play, and it's going to go against Kiski area. So that 3rd and 8 turns into a 3rd and 13. The Cavaliers will move back toward their own end zone.
Penalty takes them back to the 10-yard line. 3rd and 13 for Kiski.
Johnson to Hindley is something we've been used to hearing over the past season. Haven't heard much of it so far through 2.5 games. Hilty has been the man for Kiski area. If Johnson and Hindley can start heating up again, this Cavalier offense is going to be very dangerous. Here's Johnson. He's rolling to his right. He's going to fire down the field, That's the Dom Danino jump ball in and out of the hands of Danino, but flag comes out right at the spot.
In the backfield and a flag.
There's a flag in the backfield as well. So I would guess that first flag is going to be pass interference on Latrobe as Danino went up for the ball in and out of his hands. Great throw by Johnson on the run to even get it in Danino's area. That was a good 40-yard toss by Logan Johnson. We'll see what the flag is or what the call is. The first flag is going to be holding against Kiski area. The second flag is going against Latrobe. And unfortunately, we'll retry the down. So 3rd and 13 from the 10 for Kiski area. Dom Danino exits the field as the Cavaliers break the huddle. That's Heinley coming towards us on the near side, and Hilty on the far side. Johnson in the gun as Braden Dunmeyer in the backfield. Johnson looking for Heinley. Heinley's going to come back, make a great catch at the 21, and that's going to be enough for Cavalier first down.
Pass complete to number 3, Calvin Heinley. However, it is short.
The marker on the field is at the 18.
Brings up a 4th and 3 for Kiski.
The ball is spotted on the 21. How is this not a first down? As you can see, the marker is behind the 20-yard line. The ball is ahead of the 20-yard line. Somehow that was not a first, and the Cavaliers are going to punt. That was Cody Dykes on the punt. Great punt. Settled underneath it by number 6, Kyle Brewer. I am very, very confused on that play, and it has nothing to do with my brain capacity, I promise you. You rewind that play, and you will see the marker was shy of the 20. The ball and the catch was made after the 20. Not quite sure what happened, but regardless, referee's on the play. The stick said 4th down, and the Cavaliers punted. So here's Latrobe, 1st and 10 from their 38. Fake handoff, that's Borio, I believe, on the keeper. And indeed, that is Borio. Tackled by Danino right at midfield.
13 yards, Borio on the scamper.
13-yard gain by Borio. Brings up a new set of downs for Latrobe. Borio stays on the field. Deep behind center. That's Lakin to his left. Borio hands off to Lakin. Lakin's going to try the right side. Lakin's going to have the sideline. Lakin stiff arms or attempts to stiff arm Danino. Great job by Dom Danino on the tackle, but a big run by the Wildcats. Pick up of 32 all the way down to the 18-yard line. Connor Lakin, we haven't said his name much tonight. But that was a big run for the Latrobe offense as the Wildcats are in business here with just under a minute to play. Here's Borio going to keep it himself. Borio busts his way up the middle. Across the 15. Up to the 12-yard line. Tackled by LeBrin Smith. 30 seconds on the play clock and 31 on the game clock, so I believe we will get one more play as Latrobe comes out quickly. Here's Borio. He's going to hand off to Clayton. Clayton with a blocker in front. Clayton slips his way through the right side of the Kiski defense. Referee right on the spot is going to mark Clayton out of bounds. Just shy of the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. Very, very patient run by Clayton there with 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. Another first down for Latrobe. First and goal from the 3. Drake Clayton set the Wildcats up. Here's Borio. Ball on the ground. Borio is somehow able to pick it up as Braden Dunmeyer and Logan Johnson slipped into the backfield. Stopped by Brandon Lawhorn Moore on the play, and that's the first time we have mentioned his name tonight. Beef has been very quiet. 6'6", 295 from the center of the Cavaliers line. Makes the stop for Kiski area, and that's the final play of the third quarter. So no score in the third, and our halftime score remains 21-19 Kiski area. 21-19 was our score at the half, and it remains the same through 3. Latrobe will be faced with a second and goal, I believe, from the 3-yard line. Talking to one of the Latrobe players before the game, that was injured quarterback Bobby Fetter. He was describing his running back, Trey Clayton, and he compared him to Le'Veon Bell in that his running style is very patient, as he certainly has a good combination of power and speed. We saw it midway through the third quarter as Clayton was coming down the right sideline, lowered his shoulder into LeBrin Smith before he went out of bounds, and we've seen him a few times get the corner on the Cavaliers defense. That run was very patient down the right sideline. Latrobe's back in business. Here's the Wildcats. Again, patience by the running back. This time it was Cal Brewer off the left side. Trots his way in for a Wildcats touchdown. So as I mentioned, Clayton's patience. Here's Brewer again. Works his way around the Cavaliers defense and into the end zone. That's Latrobe now. Leads 25-21. Leading by 4, you would expect to see the Wildcat offense on the field, and indeed, that's what we got, as Borio is deep behind center for the Wildcats. Borio from the shotgun is going to roll to his right. He's going to look to pass, going to fake the pass. Nope, he does throw it, and that is caught. It looks like the reception was number 6. You should know his name by now. Cal Brewer in the end zone. And 2 more for Latrobe as they extend their lead to 27-21. Borio to Brewer for 2. So back and forth we go here at Memorial Stadium. The leads continue to exchange hands. The Wildcats now possess the 6-point advantage with 11:55 to go in the final quarter. We'll see how the Cavalier offense responds. As I said, numerous lead changes here tonight, as neither team has been ahead by more than a touchdown. Back and forth, back and forth. Right now, the Wildcats hold the 27-21 advantage. Back deep for the Cavaliers. Again is Don Donito and Matthew Hilty. Set to kick for Latrobe is Tanner Popala. With a line drive wobbly kick picked up by Hilty at the 17. Hilty working his way through the middle. Still on his feet. Over the left side this time. Across the 45. And approaching midfield. So Matt Hilty works his way through the middle of the Wildcats kick coverage and over to the left hash up to the 48-yard line. And that's where the Cavaliers will take over, 1st and 10. Officials timeout. Injured player on the field for the Cavaliers. Can't see who the number is. Player on the ground after that kickoff return. Trainer, as you can see, appears to be stretching out the right leg. Hopefully just another cramp. Mentioned it early here in the game. The first 2 games, the Cavaliers really hit with a bunch of cramps. Several players in the Butler game and the Franklin Regional game had to be catered to on the field and helped off to the sideline with cramps. And the same thing happening here tonight. We've seen several instances where Cavalier players were down. Got to get some pickle juice on the sideline or something in those water jugs. I know I have a few sons that play sports here at Kiski area, and they're always raving about the flavored Gatorade we have. I think we got to sneak some pickle juice and get these players hydrated a little bit better, as Carter Diltz does the cramp walk, as we learned in week 1 by one of our fellow High Top Sports broadcasters. The cramp walk lets you know as Carter Diltz hobbles his way off. Here's the Kiski offense. Back on the field again with 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Logan Johnson in the gun. Logan Johnson takes a snap. He's going to take it himself. Across the 50, and not much more than that. Flag on the play as Brandon Lawhorn Moore and number 56, Josh Brown, do some pushing and shoving. I caught the tail end of it. We're going to call it against Latrobe. Personal foul against number 56, Josh Brown.
Against Kiski.
Excuse me, and Kiski. Was that both? Excuse me, if you're watching on your electronic device, you saw the referee point toward Latrobe. And then he pointed toward the Kiski sideline. I thought this was going to be offsetting, but the correction was made, and that was against the Cavaliers only. So instead of gaining 15, the Cavaliers are going to lose 15. And that'll bring the ball back to the 36-yard line. So first and 25 from the 36. Here's Johnson looking left. Dumps it off to Hilty or Heinley. I can't see the number. That's Heinley. Heinley's across the 40, the 30, and hit as he goes out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Quick throw and catch. Logan Johnson to Calvin Heinley. Calvin Heinley was hit as he was going out of bounds, or as he was out of bounds. And this penalty is going to go against Latrobe. So just as quick as Kiski moves backwards, they're going to go forward and some. Personal foul against the Wildcats will add 15 yards to the Johnson-Hindley connection. That throw and catch went for about 40 yards.
Penalty takes the ball all the way to the 14-yard line.
That penalty is going to bring Kiski inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Cavs. Here's Logan Johnson, shotgun, formation. Hands off to Hepler. Hepler going to try to the right side. Crosses the 15 down at about the 13-yard line. Call it a pickup of 2.
No gain on the play. Brings up a second.
Pickup of 2.
Check down, gain of 1.
2nd and 8. Tough to see the ball
2nd and 9.
approaching the far side of the field and away from us here in the booth. We'll call it 2nd and 8 with 10:24 and counting. Here's Logan Johnson with Dunmeyer and Hepler. Johnson looking left, lob it up into double coverage, and it's not good. Intercepted by Latrobe. The pass was intercepted by number 5, Trace Sickenborough, in the end zone, and it was a very, very simple one. Logan Johnson looked like he wanted to throw a jump ball too highly from the beginning. He double clutched and lobbed it into double coverage, and it was an easy interception by Chase Sickenberger. Heartbreaking interception for the Cavaliers with 10:13 in the 4th quarter. As Latrobe was set to snap the ball, Brock Wilkins emphatically trying to call timeout. And indeed, he did. Cavalier timeout. Let's take one here as well. You're listening to the home of Cavalier football, High Top Sports Network.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulation.
Quickly back here at Memorial Stadium. Here's Latrobe on 1st down. That's Clayton. Stopped at the 15-yard line by Logan Johnson. Great job by Johnson to get into the backfield there. Stop Clayton before he can get going. So right before that play, Kiski was driving deep into Latrobe territory in a very, very bad missed throw or miscommunication, but decision by Logan Johnson led to an interception. And here's Latrobe with a 2nd down. Borio going to pick up about 2 or 3. We talked early in the Week 0 game about the connection between Logan Johnson and Calvin Hiley. And we talked about how Logan Johnson has extreme confidence to throw it up to Calvin and go make a play. As confident as he may be, it also is probably a crutch or an Achilles heel sometimes, is when Logan Johnson starts to get pressure, you can see he looks for Hindley, and then on that play, unfortunately, there was nothing Hindley could do. Here's Latrobe on 3rd down. Looking to make a pass over on the right side, but LeBrin Smith breaks it up. And nothing doing for the Latrobe offense. So, as unfortunate as that interception was, great job by the Cavalier defense to force Latrobe into a 3-and-out. And the punt team on the field for the Wildcats. Number 1, Tanner Papella set the punt from his own 6. That's Hilty back for the Cavs. Almost blocked by Wilkins. Hilty settles underneath it at the 48. He was looking to run, and he did not have control. Referee trying to figure out who has the ball. He is right on the play, and it looks like Hilty is able to come up with it. Scary play for the Cavaliers. Hilty settled underneath that punt, and you could see him take a little peek to see where he was going to go as the ball was in his hands and it wasn't secure. The ball slipped out of his hands onto the ground. 2 Wildcat players were there. But fortunately for Kiski area, Hilty was able to fall on it and secure it. And they'll take over 1st and 10 from the 47 with 8:34 remaining and trailing by 6. Here's Johnson. Shotgun formation. It's going to hand off to Hepler. Hepler took that handoff from his thigh, was able to pull it up and secure it as he crossed midfield into Wildcat territory. And we have a Latrobe player down on the field. Officials timeout. Wasn't able to see who the number was. But that was Chad Hepler on the run. I could see the handoff just below Hepler's waist as he was getting up to speed. He had to pull that ball up into his right arm and secure it as one of the would-be tacklers was right on top of him. Great job by Hepler to take that handoff and pull it up into his arm and gain about 5 yards for the Cavs. Injured player for Latrobe was number 56, Josh Brown. Brown was able to walk off under his own power, and he's going to head to the bench and get checked out. 2nd and 5 with 8:15 remaining. Here's Johnson. Man in motion is Dunbar. Johnson takes a snap, hand off to Hepler. Hepler is hit in the backfield. That's number 4, Corey Borio. Borio stops Hepler in the backfield. Loss of 1. Going to bring up 3rd and 6. Call it 7. 3rd and 7. From just shy of midfield. Ball touching the 50-yard line, and the first down marker looks to be around the 42. 42 and a half. So 3rd and 7. With 7:25 and counting. Here's Johnson. Fakes the quick toss. He's got Hiley down the sideline, and this time it is caught. Great throw and catch. Logan Johnson to Calvin Hiley. We saw that play a little earlier in the half. The fake screen to Matt Hilty. Johnson, with a great fake, was able to reset on the first attempt. Hiley had a step, and Johnson overthrew him. This time, Calvin Hiley was able to come up with it, arms fully stretched, and a Cavalier first down at the 19-yard line. Great job by Logan Johnson and Calvin Hiley. We talked about those two all night long, and there it is. Big pickup for the Cavalier offense. Here's Johnson. Hand off to Dunbar. He's going to go nowhere.
Number 4.
Dunbar had no momentum on that handoff. Not much doing. And it's going to be a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Dunbar with his 2nd or 3rd carry here of the game. As I said, Brock Wilkins was tripped up, injured early in the first half, and he has not touched the field here in the second half. It's been all C.J. Hepler. A few runs by Logan Johnson, and as I said, a couple from Braden Dunbar. Here's Johnson. He's going to toss it to Hepler. Hepler's going to try the right side. Hepler is going to be tripped up at the 16-yard line. He was tripped up by number 5, I believe, Sickenberg. Check that. That was number 6, Kyle Brewer.
who tripped up Hetler at the 15. Hetler was able to fall or fly his way forward to the 14. 3rd and 5. 2 wide receivers to the left. That's Hilty and Heinley. Man in motion is Dunmeyer. Here's Johnson. Johnson tosses it to Hepler on the left side. Hepler avoids a tackle. Crosses the 10. Maneuvers his way inside the 10. Up to the 8-yard line. And that's a Kiski first down.
Just inside the 10-yard
Hepler
line, it's gonna be first and
did a
goal
great job
for
on
the
that toss
Kiski.
to sidestep a would-be tackler. That play looked like it was going to go for 1 or 2. Instead, pickup of, I believe, about 7 or 8. And the Cavaliers have a first and goal inside the 10-yard line. Here's Logan Johnson. Flags on the play. And it's going to go against the Cavaliers. Ball start on Kiski area. So a first and goal from just inside the 10 will be a first and goal just inside the 15. Call it the 14-yard line. So first and goal from the 14, 4:50 and counting. Cavaliers trail 27-21 late in the fourth quarter. Two wide receivers again for the Cavaliers. On the right side this time, here's Johnson. Looking right. He's going to fire right. Calvin Heinley looked like he lost his footing, but a flag came late. Kiski coaches screaming from the booth for a flag. They got one. Unless they're going to talk about it. I thought Heinley lost his footing on his own. And then a flag came out. And indeed, it's going to be a flag, pass interference against the Wildcats. That was Colin Stevens on the coverage. We'll move the Cavaliers half the distance to the goal. And they will have a first down from the 7-yard line. So first and goal from the 7, 4:27 remaining. 3 wide this time. That's Dunmeyer in the slot. Here's Johnson. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to give the Cavaliers the lead. Logan Johnson from 7 yards out gives Kiski area, the tie. I forgot about the 2-point conversion. The Cavaliers tie the game at 27 as Logan Johnson finds his way through the Latrobe defense and gives Kiski area the tying touchdown. 4:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. Cody Dykes on the kick for Kiski area. The last 2 snaps were low in the ground. This one was perfect. Calvin Heinley sets it, and Cody Dykes knocks it through. So now the Cavaliers lead 28-27. Kiski area takes the lead. 4:24 remaining in the ballgame. Again, back and forth we go. What a game we have here at Memorial Stadium. Kiski area regains the lead by 1 as Logan Johnson scampers his way in from 7 yards out with 4:24 to go. Back deep for Latrobe is number 6, Kyle Brewer, and number 11, Colin Stevens. Set the kick, as usual, for the Cavaliers is Cody Dykes. See if the Cavaliers have any
tricks up their sleeve on this kick. We've seen a couple squibs, line drives. Cavaliers were able to come up with a onside kick last week. Cody Dykes is going to line this one up the middle, off the left side, off a Latrobe player. He's across the 30, the 35, and up to the 37. So a deep line drive by Cody Dykes. Picked up around the 20 and returned across the 35 up to the 37. And that's where Latrobe will take over with 4:16 remaining in the ballgame.
Ball will be swatted at the Wildcat 37. First and 10 pass from their own 37.
Here's first down for Latrobe. Can't quite see the number yet. Handoff. I believe that was Clayton. It is, and Clayton goes nowhere.
Number 10.
That was Borio at quarterback. He handed off to Clayton, and Clayton had nowhere to go off that right side, and I believe he's going to lose one on that yard. Call it second and 11.
From the Wildcat 36-yard line.
From the 36-yard line with 3:47 and counting. Here's Borio in the shotgun for Latrobe. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Borio got a hand off to Clayton. Clayton off the right side. Clayton lowers his shoulder across the 40 as he approaches the 45. Big pickup by Clayton. He's knocked out of bounds with 3:31 on the clock.
Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. 3rd and 5 for the Cats.
The ball spotted on the 42-yard line.
42.
So let's call it a 3rd and 5 from the 42. Here's Borio again. It's Colin Stevens out wide. Borio keeps it, and he's not going to get much. Borio approached the 45, but it looked like he was down before he could get there, and indeed he was. Called the 44. Pickup of only 1 on that play.
From the Wildcats 44-yard line.
And it's going to be a 3rd and a short 4 or a long 3. But 4th down, and it's head coach Sam Albert tries to get the Kiski fans into this 4th down play. Sam Albert screaming from the sideline. Here's Borio. Going to keep himself. Fake a handoff. He's looking to pass. And it is intercepted. Intercepted by Don Danino. In and out of the hands of a Latrobe player. Don Danino intercepted the ball. As he was tackled to the ground, the ball came out. It appeared he was down on the play. A Latrobe player was able to fall, and then a flag came up. Don Danino with a big interception for the Kiski Cavaliers. 2:42 on the clock. Let's see what the flag is. It's going to go against Latrobe.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Wildcats.
And in a game dominated by offense, it's again the Cavalier defense that comes up big. 2:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. Don Danino gives the Cavalier offense a 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
30. Kiski will take over. 1st and 10.
Not the easiest setup here in the booth at Latrobe, but what is exciting is we have the Kiski area coaches right next to us, and you can hear them yelling, shovel pass, and it looked like that's what Borio wanted to do. He had nobody. He drew the ball back, fired it over the middle, in and out of the hands of his receivers, and into the lap of Don Danino, and the Cavalier offense takes over. Here's Hepler. Across the 25 to 20. He breaks a tackler. C.J. Hepler into the end zone for a Cavalier touchdown. C.J. Hepler extends the Cavalier lead to 7.
with 2:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field by Kiski area gives us time to celebrate. The game far from over with 2:35 on the clock. The Cavaliers lead by 7. But certainly a lot of excitement on the Cavaliers sideline as Don Danino sets it up on the defensive side for Chad Hepler, CJ Hepler, to knock it down on the offensive side. Kiski area leads 34-27. Going to be very hard to pick a player of the game here tonight, as many players on both sides of the ball contributing for Kiski area. But CJ Hepler, with his second touchdown of the night, making a strong case for his second player of the game of the year. Here's Cody Dykes. Set to kick. The kick is up, and it is good. The lead is now 8. 35-27 with 2:35. You're listening to High Top Sports Network, home of the Cavalier football, as Kiski area is looking to improve to 3-0. As we mentioned in the pregame, the Cavaliers undefeated through 2 games for the first time in well over a decade. Can't remember what year it was. I saw it earlier today. I want to say it was 2004. So a lot of excitement surrounding the Kiski area football team as they lead 35-27 on the road at Latrobe with 2:35 remaining in the game. Coach Sam Albert on the sidelines, 2.5 minutes away from improving this team to 3-0. Cody Dykes set the kick for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers bunched up on this side, and it is a line drive to the left, so that explains the formation. In and out of the hands of a Latrobe player, picked up at around the 32, across the 35, and that's where the Wildcats offense will take over with 2:29 remaining. You could see by the setup of the Cavaliers kicking team that right side was, for lack of a better term, scrunched up or pushed in towards the center. And that ball was squibbed down the left side. And that's where the Cats will take over. On their right side, it would be our left as the ball was kicked. Their right side as they move up the field. Here's a pass and a catch. The pass was caught at the 40, and the shoulder was laid in by LeBrin Smith. LeBrin Smith came up strong, put the hammer down on the Latrobe receiver as he caught that ball at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5, with 2 minutes remaining. Here's Borio. The snap is low, picked up by Borio. He's looking to get rid of it, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of number 11, Colin Stevens. The snap to Borio never left the ground as he had to retreat and pick it up. Scramble to his left. Somehow he was able to find a receiver. A great pass that hit off the chest of Colin Stevens. So Stevens unable to come up with it, and the Wildcats We'll have 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line with 1:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Borio again with 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Borio looking left, now coming to right. It's a screen pass, and it's not a good one. Over the hands of Clayton, it hit a lineman, and again, the Kiski coach is emphatic that there should be a flag on the play as it hit in the back of one of the Latrobe linemen. I see no yellow on the field, but I do see a 4th down for Latrobe. 4th and 5 from the 40, 1:46 remaining. Borio exits the field, and now it's Riot. Riot hasn't been on the field for a while. He's going to step in on 4th down, and before he can run the play, flags are going to be called. That was Logan Johnson on the far side, tried to time his blitz there, and unfortunately he did not. The flag's going to go against Kiski area, and I believe it's going to be enough for a Latrobe 1st down. Very unfortunate penalty there, as the Wildcats were faced with a 4th and 5, and now they have a new set of downs. 1:45 remaining, 1st and 10 from the 45. Borio back in the game at quarterback. Borio looking, fakes a pass, and he is going to be brought down by big number 72, Sam Coleman. Sam Coleman making his presence felt here again tonight as he sacks the Latrobe quarterback back at the 31-yard line. Timeout on the field, I believe, by Latrobe. I didn't see the signal. 1:39 remaining. The Cavaliers lead by 8. When we come out of this timeout, Latrobe's going to be faced with a 2nd and 24 from the 31-yard line. That was the first time we mentioned Sam Coleman's name tonight, and it was a great time for the Cavaliers. Sam Coleman was one of the heroes last week for Kiski as he intercepted a Franklin Regional pass and was able to score for Kiski their first touchdown of the week last week. That interception propelled the Cavaliers to a 24-14 win, their 2nd of the season. And the Cavaliers defense is trying to preserve another one here with just under 2 minutes to go. Here's a pass. Incomplete. That was intended to Brewer. Coverage on the play by Wilkins. So Brewer unable to come up with that one. And it's 3rd and 24 with 1:35 remaining. Latrobe trying to figure out how to pick up 24 yards in 2 plays. As you can see, entering the huddle, that was Riot and Borio. It looks like Riot at quarterback. That is Riot. Flag on the play. And it's against Latrobe. That was a delay of game penalty this time. So now the Wildcats are going to have to figure out how to pick up 29 yards in 2 plays. 3rd and 29.
3rd and 29 for the Wildcats.
From the 26 with 1:33 on the clock. 4 wide receivers for the Wildcats. That's Riot. Riot looking. Fires downfield. Incomplete. That pass was intended again for Brewer. On the stop, Isaiah Gonzalez for the Cavaliers. 1:28 on the clock. 4th and 29 from the 26. The Cavaliers trying to hold on to this 8-point lead and improve to 3-0 on the season. Here's Borio. Excuse me. That's Riot. Riot. He's looking right. He's firing right. Down the sideline. Jump ball out of bounds. And the Cavaliers offense will take over. Riot locked in to his receiver on the right side. Tried to find a man. I believe that was Stevens. And Stevens had no chance to catch that one. And Kiski will take over on downs at the Wildcats' 26-yard line. 1:22 on the clock. The scoreboard is not showing us, it's showing 0 timeouts for Latrobe. I thought they had one left, but apparently they do not. Logan Johnson takes the snap, looking to the sideline as he takes his knee. A little bit of confusion. The play clock's not running, but the game clock was. There goes the play clock now. Okay, so the scoreboard showing no timeouts left for Latrobe. Logan Johnson took the knee. It's 2nd down. And it looks like, barring a major catastrophe, that Kiski is going to stay undefeated. 45 seconds and counting. As the Cavaliers set up in the victory formation. Logan Johnson takes another knee. And I believe that'll be the last play. Indeed it is. Kiski area travels to Latrobe. And they are going to go home with a 35-27 victory. Your Cavaliers are now 3-0. Kiski came out of the gates with a win over Butler in week 0. A win over Franklin Regional in week 1. And now a win over Latrobe in week 2. Kiski area is 3-0. Latrobe will fall to 1-2. What an exciting game here tonight. As we saw a back and forth ball game, each team answering the other's touchdown scores, but it was Kiski who was able to outlast and come up with the victory. Don Danino with the big interception, and C.J. Hepler with the nail in the coffin touchdown. As your final from Memorial Stadium, Kiski area, 35-27. So, as I mentioned, going to be kind of tough to pick the player of the game tonight, as so many Cavaliers contributed to the victory. But literally, as I was making that comment, C.J. Hepler ran his way into the end zone for his 2nd score of the night. And if you missed the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show, Hepler had 112 yards at the half and many more in the second half. So for the 2nd time in 3 games, I guess we're going to have to award C.J. Hepler with the High Top Sports Network Player of the Game. What an impressive performance by the Cavaliers, and certainly C.J. Hepler stepping up again for the Kiski area offense. In case you missed it last week and or earlier this game, Hepler didn't play last year, his junior season. He's also a track star for the Cavaliers. So I would assume he wanted to step away, devote a little more time elsewhere.
he's back in a big way for Kiski area. Twice in 3 weeks being named the High Top Sports Player of the Game. As you can see, the Cavaliers celebrating in the huddle here, cheering, and what we haven't seen in a long time, a lot of excitement and an undefeated Kiski area football team. So thank you for tuning in again to High Top Sports. As we mentioned several times throughout the broadcast, if you are a business in the area or know a business leader or business owner, the only way we can bring you these incredible Cavalier football games and hopefully Cavalier sports is through our sponsors. We want to thank several sponsors that we had tonight, especially newcomer Shevlin Concrete Construction. So get on board with the Cavaliers and let's get ready for week number 3 as the Cavaliers try to go to 4-0. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next Friday from the High Top Sports Network.